Everybody is talking about real estate investing. There's three main things when we talk about investing. There's short-term rentals, long-term rentals, and then flips, renovations, that kind of stuff. I've been a part of all three. I've personally flipped houses, so I'm very familiar with investing in real estate. Right now, it's very hard to have long-term rentals that are gonna cash flow, only because interest rates are so high. So the majority of the houses that you're gonna find, if you buy it at a 6 or 7% interest rate, the rent that you're gonna be able to charge more than likely won't be more than your mortgage on that house. So that won't work. Once house prices come back down or interest rates come back down, then that could be something that we're gonna revisit. Any long-term rentals, you're in it for the long game, right? You're gonna hold the property for 10, 20, 30 years, hopefully refinance at some point. So there's lots of ways to make money in long-term rentals. But for people that aren't already involved, that come to me and ask about getting into it right now, it's not a great time just because interest rates are so high. Not that it's not possible, specifically in a market like Phoenix, where our rents are high, but they're coming down and housing prices are still really high. It's gonna be very hard to find a long-term rental that's gonna make money right now. Short-term rentals, that's the new rage, right? Everybody's doing short-term Airbnbs. Short-term rentals are great. There's two ways you can do it as far as an investment. You can either purchase a property to rent short-term, or you can do rental arbitrage, where essentially you rent it from somebody else and then rent it yourself on a service like Airbnb. Both are great. There's lots of pros and cons to both. Obviously, if you're purchasing property to make a short-term rental, the good thing is you're building equity from day one. So in 5, 10 years, you're gonna have equity built up in that cash flowing asset. Also, if you buy the property, you have more options. So let's say the Airbnb is not working out, you can look at converting it into a long-term rental. You can talk about, potentially putting money into it to resell it. There's lots of options. As far as rental arbitrage goes, I typically tell people to stay away from it. Obviously, your startup investment is very low. You don't need to come up with a ton of capital for a down payment, that kind of stuff. But at the same time, you're number one at the mercy of your landlord. There's somebody else involved in every decision that you make. And number two, it's very hard to cover your monthly rent. Typically, when we see people paying for a month in rent, they have to have 15 to 18 nights per month to cover that. And in most cases, that's not realistic. Everybody's watched the TV shows. Everybody's seen it, how easy it is. You buy a house for this, you put some money into it, you sell it for this. Speaking from personal experience, it doesn't always go that way. Number one, lots of stuff is gonna come up in the meantime. There's gonna be way more expenses than you're originally budgeting for, and those can eat into your profit. So right now in Phoenix, the market's still pretty hot, right? Historically, prices are still higher than they have been. The deals are harder to come by. So the problem with flipping real estate and investing in real estate to fix up and then sell again is, number one, real estate prices are high, and number two, it's gotten very competitive. So every house that may potentially be a deal, there's tons of other investors that are also looking at that deal. The key to getting into the flipping business or the remodeling real estate is to find off-market properties that nobody else has seen, that you talk to a homeowner that needs to get out, and to have cash available, right? Those are three things that'll really help you. That's pretty rare right now. Number one, most of the time, flippers are getting loans on these, hard money loans. Number two, the deals are really hard to find. There's people driving around every single day calling houses that look like they need work. And then number three, the timelines, right? So the houses are hard to get. If you buy a house right now and you're gonna do a 6-month renovation, we might be in a totally different market in 6 months. Investing in real estate is much more attainable than people think, but you really need somebody on your side. You need somebody that knows what they're doing. You need somebody that's done it before, that can kind of help you walk through the steps and eliminate the issues that are gonna come up.